So here we are entering the flower shop that I have branching off of my campsite. This was a really fun build for me, and it's been on my island almost since the very beginning. I adore flowers, which you will see throughout my island. Pretty much half of it is one giant expansive garden, and I feel like this is kind of what kicked off that whole theme. So as you can see, there's a very feminine element to this. I wanted it to feel light and fresh and airy, and it really kind of plays as an intersection between my campsite and the West Flower Garden and my museum entry. It's a really fun place to take photos. There's tons and tons of different varieties of flowers in this area that are kind of concentrated, I guess. And so now we're entering into my West Flower Garden. This is what I call the Butterfly Pavilion. As you can see, there is a theme of butterflies and symmetry, and the torii at the front features a little butterfly emblem on it, which was super fitting, and it was the main inspiration for the name of this garden. The middle, you'll see a small pond, which I actually installed because I was missing fish that could only be caught in ponds. So I put that specifically there to be able to complete my fish portion of the Critterpedia. And so now as we walk past that little waterfall with the lily of the valley, you can see that this brings us back to the cleaning area in my campsite that was previously featured on my campsite tour video. Here we're doing a little zoom, which did not pan out because it went straight into palm trees, but this is a little pink oasis, I guess, is what I would think of it as, on my beach, because it was kind of just a very dull, empty area, and I wanted to make it something that really catches the eye and is unique. So it features pink seashells and pink flowers on the cacti and on the ground, which you'll be able to see and find in the catalog in the description of this video. So past the waterfall and beside the pond, on each side of the pond, you'll find flowers, and there's every color of every variety or species of flower that I have planted in this garden, which was actually a really fun project to complete. I'm a big completionist, and so that was very satisfying to complete. And so as you can see, you can pull out this little fountain here. This is the park fountain, I believe. And there's a little seat, which is such a fun discovery to have made months after I installed that feature in this garden. I saw it on a video and it blew my mind. So now it makes this portion of the island even more fun. And it really ties together the whole dark stone pathway that I have going on here. And here you can see my other waterfall beside my roses, where I've also featured a little fire flower from Mario, as I am a huge Mario fan, particularly the 3D games that they have, so that's a little nod to that. And I also have behind me the Celestial Garden, which we'll go up and check out in a sec. And now you can see my tulips on each corner of the 4 points of that pond. I have a fine vase, and they're all the same pattern, but it's a cool little feature. If you rotate them, each side has a different variety of flower. So now we're over in my museum area, the entryway here. As you can see, I have another little gnome. I love gnomes. They're hidden all throughout my island. I have one of each variety of them. And funny enough, after I installed my home, you'll see when we go and explore that in a separate video that I have a little gnome guarding my door, and his name is Norman, and I have a real life Norman that sits on my bedside table at home, which is such a fun tidbit. So we've explored the front of the museum. This is the a little patio that goes back into the back portion of this garden. So you'll see the mums and the lilies and the hyacinths and the pansies here. I also have one of each different type of butterfly that I commissioned from Flick, as well as a couple other bugs that have um, floral elements like the leaf bug and the orchid mantis. I also have this waterfall along the back side because I felt like it was just missing something when it was only a cliffside, and I feel like it really elevates this area where I have all brown outdoor furniture. And it's such a cute little hidden spot in it. The background you can see not only is waterfalls, but there are stars and a nice little Zen bridge up in the back there, which we'll go and explore as part of my celestial garden. Uh, it is such a fun element. There's so much going on in my gardens, and it brings me a lot of joy. I'm also huge on astrology, which is why I have a very large celestial garden, which we're going to go and look at now. In the entryway here, you'll see that I have 10 lilies of the valley. Those are the first 10 that I collected on my island once I hit 5 stars. And here in this entryway, it's super beautiful, very scenic, awesome for taking photos, especially at nighttime when everything is lit up. But even during the daytime, there's like this palace ruins vibe to it, along with the incorporated star elements that I have in there. And you'll also see on either side of the ruined pillars that I have I believe they're Virgo harps from the astrology collection that you can collect from Celeste, who is my favorite character in this game. It's always a pleasure when she comes to visit, and I really hope that she's been able to see and explore my gardens up here because they're almost like a nod to her. And so here you'll see I have a pine tree, and I also have a couple more pillars. In the back there, I have a Capricorn ornament that is framed on either side by the pillars with the matching trees or hedges and the fountains on either side. This overlooks a secret area in the back. You can kind of see the top of the pine tree that I have back there that we'll go and explore in a little while because it has a separate entrance. You actually can't access it from here, which you will see in a later video. And so here we exit down into the back. I have a couple of statues back here, which they almost feel like they're mirroring each other, which is why I have them positioned where they are. This guy with the disc, he matches the pillars beautifully, but he also complements in the back there the thinking man statue, which is on my favorite lookout spot on my island, which is the southwest or northwest corner, overlooking the water. This is a super scenic spot. I've taken so many pictures here. I have a bench here because I like to just come back and pan up and watch the sky as it changes color. It is an excellent spot to take in the sunset. And now we're coming back through here where I have an Asian inspiration for this back garden area. So I call it my bamboo garden. And it features a couple statues, a gong, a couple of those, what are they called? Not a torii. It's, I'm walking under it right now, you know what I'm talking about. But you can see another little gnome on the right there, and I've lined it with some bushes that are out of season, but they go really well with and without the flowers. During summertime, I have hibiscus flowers that bloom on those. And I have the matching colored hyacinths that line this portion of the garden. And this brings me back into this little pink area that I've designed as a little peekaboo spot on the beach. Another thing that I'm not huge on is having empty spaces on my beach, so I try to fill them any way that I can. Here I'm going to shoot down a balloon and check out what's inside. I don't often use my slingshot just because I've gotten to the point where any items that I want, I can just acquire them by paying through my catalog, but it's always a fun little treat when I do decide to take a moment to shoot them down and check out what's inside. And now we are back into the main square, and this area is something I featured in my previous video. Here we're circling back around. CJ's on my island today, which is super cute, and I don't often interact with CJ, to be honest, because fishing is... it's kind of complicated for me. I don't just watch the water. I have to actually be in a concentrated moment where I can sit and have the volume on, and I fish by closing my eyes or staring off and kind of zoning out and waiting to feel and hear when the fish is on the hook. And so it's something that I only do on occasion now because I've almost completed my fishing catalog and I'm missing maybe 2 or 3 fish at this point, so I just don't do it very often because it isn't necessary and it's not my favorite thing to do because it's very time consuming and I'm very specific with how I do it. So now we've circled back from my little right side cafe that I have set up that I built to complement the roost, which is located inside of the museum. It's one of my favorite locations, and when I first got it, I went every single day and I got all of the little collectibles from Brewster, up to the point where I got the Brewstoid, which was my favorite gyroid that I have gotten and will ever get. So now we're going back up into the Celestial Garden and we're going to hang a right so we can go and check out the remainder of this garden portion. But first we're going to come and check out the back here and pan right. Here I've got a little golden bunny, and it also leads into this golden third story of my island, which we'll go and explore in a sec, which I've complemented with a golden ladder. It's a super scenic spot to take photos. Honestly, anywhere in the gardens really is. There's so much to look at and so much to absorb. Here I have a really beautiful balance of purples and greens, which obviously complement each other really well. And up here, now we're exploring the third level of my garden, which is the pool area, which I love. I've lined the back with Pisces lamps to look like they're fish that are jumping out of the water because I have the water cascading over the back like in an infinity pool. And I've got several different flower arrangements going on in here, some purple stars to complement the mood, and I have a custom flooring as well, which is what you've seen up there with those star tiles. Now here I'm on my little Zen bridge where I'm crossing over into the remainder of the Celestial Garden, which I have lined with golden roses and yellow star lamps, and it overlooks a moon that I have floating in front of another waterfall. The moon actually is so cool, not just because it looks awesome amongst the stars and the overall theme of this portion of my garden, but it also has a pattern underneath of it that I found from a creator, which includes all 12 horoscope symbols. And it's a really cool feature that you don't really see unless you're looking for it. So here I have 4 Scorpio lamps that are lining this staircase as an entryway into the garden from the pavilion area behind my museum. I felt like it was a really cool way to draw you into that garden from this area as opposed to crossing over the bridge. Now here we're passing by a couple of things. So I have the Taurus bath and the it's a ram. I forget which symbol it is right now, but it's that little rocking chair that was over in the front there with the white flower arrangement. And here I have 2 floaties to my right, which are both like swans. I mean, they're probably peacocks based on their plumage, but just that element of having little birds sitting beside the water really brought me a lot of joy. And up there I also have a like a little storage area, and if you noticed, if you backtrack a little bit here, because we kind of went through there very quickly, I have another one of those bird floaties that is a black swan, which I felt really tied that whole mood together like a dark side of the moon effect type deal. And here we're in the final portion of my floral gardens, where you've seen I've arranged the beautiful statue in the 4 different orientations, with this valiant statue right in the middle overlooking all of it, on top of 4 different waterfalls facing each direction, which I have lined with bushes and with flowers. And what I have going on with the flowers here is I've arranged them in order of species and color, so they have a kind of gradient effect, which I think is a really cool feature, and I change it up seasonally, so that will be switched out soon. I believe I'm going to integrate some more blues and purples and whites in the following design of the garden. And so here you can see along the right side and now towards the left, I have 10 different zodiac figures, which are the Chinese zodiacs, which I integrated into this to kind of tie together that celestial garden theme and bring it to a nice conclusion. I have the 13th zodiac in my home because I couldn't find a place that I liked it outside here, and it's kind of a nod to my gardens, so whenever I see it inside it brings me a lot of joy. And here in the back we have this really cool maypole, which reminds me of the movie Midsummer, which was awesome. I love Florence Pugh. The storyline was amazing. It was terrifying, but it was really, really cool. And this back portion is like a hidden area where I can construct things, because when I was building all of this, I was constantly running back and forth and trying to find a place where I could build and retrieve items to decorate. So that's what this little hidden nook is. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this tour. It's now at an end. Please be sure to like, subscribe, follow if you want to keep going and watching my future content. I also deeply appreciate your support as a creator, and I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you next time.